to this week's episode of Sinful but Saved Outreach. I'm your announcer and reader, Edith Lane.
And I am your host, Minister Reverend Jerome Roberts.
And we come to you this day with a reading from the book of John. Chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except God be with him. Now, to receive a word from the Lord, from our own Reverend Jerome Roberts.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Edith. Hello again. Happy New Year to all. Glad you all made it with us into the new year. Today, we are still in the book of John. We decided to stay with this book because of the stuff that it represents and is John's connection with Jesus Christ. Now, here John is talking about a situation where Jesus himself was met by this man Nicodemus. Now, Nicodemus was of the Pharisees. It was one of the three different sects of rulers and politicians, if you will, in the Jewish land back in those days. You had the Sadducees, the Pharisees. And these people decided for everybody what to do, how to do it, when not to do it. They were well versed in the law. You know, they had power of attorney, they had attorney skills, lawyers, and again, these people were the people that guided the land. Everything that was done in the land was controlled by them. So Nicodemus is one of these guys. And it said the same came to him by night. Why would Nicodemus come to him by night versus getting him in the daytime? Reason being, they would not want, Nicodemus didn't want anybody to see him. So, track Jesus down, and so he can have a conversation with him. Now, the second verse say the same came to Jesus by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from God, for no man can do these miracles that thou do, except God be with him.
Yes.
Now, we know, and first of all, he gave him recognition as to saying, Rabbi, teacher. We know who you are.
Yes.
Because we have been discussing you in our council, and they have determined through our discussions that you got to be somebody different than what you are because of the evidence of the stuff that you do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, and he's coming to him by night and trying to pick him and trying to find out how can he get closer with him, because the evidence that all of us are made by God is because of moments like this. As they say, what's from the Spirit will reach the Spirit. What's from the heart will reach the heart.
Absolutely.
And there's always a connection, regardless of how much you try to deny it, regardless of how much you want to just try to ignore it, that you know somebody got the Spirit of God in them and on them, and they live in their life through it because, again, the evidence of it, you can see it.
Sure you can.
And not only can you see it, but now you are seeing the miracles that's wrought by this man, you know. And again, Jesus here is a poor, unattractive man, not tall in stature, but people still are flocking to this guy.
Yes.
You know, like the Pied Piper, you know, like he's playing music and they're just following him everywhere that he goes.
Yes.
And not only the miracles that he's wrought by them recognizing him as a rabbi, being a teacher, the stuff that he says, because Jesus taught in parables. He gave a heavenly message to a common situation to get people to understand, because back in that day they didn't have www.this and they didn't have a computer, so
No, they didn't.
you couldn't pull up Google. You couldn't Google Jesus back in the day. You had to get him because you were one of his followers or that you heard about him. And again, even back in that day, news traveled.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
News traveled fast because he was kicking up a lot of dust.
Yes.
Jesus was kicking up a lot of dust, and he was doing some things that led people to him. You know, back in the second chapter of John, they was talking about the first miracle that Jesus did when him and the disciples was at the wedding and they changed the water to wine. No doubt some of the Pharisees were there to have taken notice of what Jesus had did.
That's right.
One of the maybe considerably disrespectful statements in the second chapter is when Jesus asked, when they ran out of wine, and Jesus' mother asked him to turn the water, hey son, they out of wine. And he said, woman, what have I to do with you? My time is not yet.
Yeah.
And Jesus was snappy. So if that had been in our day, boy, what you say?
Don't you know? For real.
But evidently, no doubt these Pharisees was there at the wedding that Jesus, that Jesus performed one of his first miracles that was recorded there.
Yes.
And they saw what he did, and again, they saw some of the things quietly, because again, there was a lot of people around Jesus, so they could easily be back in the crowd where they're maybe not as noticeable as they would be by being in the front of the crowd. But they have been paying attention to what Jesus had been doing all of this time, because first of all, what he was doing, you got to realize that these people are the leaders.
Yes.
They decide what people do, when they do it, how they think, how they should not think, based on what they counsel on. And so here Jesus is picking up, following and followers, and he just got baptized by his cousin John, and things is happening, and John's disciples have left John, and some of them now are following Jesus Christ, and this man is picking up a following, quote unquote, meaning maybe uprising. So here Nicodemus then got away from his boys and, quietly went to Jesus to try to find out some personal things, to maybe find out maybe what he can feel comfortable about based on what they had discovered in their counsel. So here it is, our first lesson of the new year about our Jesus Christ and John's writings. And we will see you next week with another episode of Sinful but Safe. Thank you for listening. God bless you.
God bless. Thank you for tuning in to this week's teaching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sinful but Saved is produced by Lava Inc. Productions, with music composed by Dion Wolford. For your free Sinful but Saved t-shirt, contact Sheer Gold Fashions at 708-265-9062. A $3 shipping handling fee will apply. One t-shirt per request. Tune in next Sunday at 6 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Until then, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior and Lord, please do so while you still have time. Be saved and live blessed.